Is anybody out there?
Is anybody out there?
Is anybody out there?
Is anybody out there?
Is there anyone out there? Could there be?
Does anybody understand me, hear me?
I wondered if there is anybody out there, and a hope that there might be.
In 1987, a recording was captured by David Boynton, and it was of an extinct bird native to Kauai. When you're listening to this recording, it's the male bird. There's no answer from the female. And so you're listening to this bird, the last of its entire genus, asking the question, is anybody out there? The composition of the piece is supposed to resemble a wormhole, so you can really kind of get trapped. I think the message is really hidden inside, and you'll only really find it if you look.
She is probably one of the calmest, kindest, most well-rounded students that I've ever had the pleasure of teaching. Amelia approached me with what she wanted to do with her artwork, how she wanted to do it. I was really excited for her, and then to see her drawing develop over time, the ability to express her story, the ability to express her thought, where she wanted to take the message that she was trying to portray. She did that really well, really seamlessly.
I was thinking about how to represent the theme of is anybody out there in paper, and I didn't really get anywhere productive until I remembered that recording that I had heard. The actual illustration came very easy to me. I've always been good with composition, and so putting that theme to words and the feeling I wanted people to take away from that.
Winning the OSSTF Marion Drysdale Award for Amelia will validate all of her hard work, all of her wonderful talents that she's put into being successful in her school career. And I think having her name put out into the artistic community and having that recognition on such a large scale will only help her be successful as she continues on her creative path.
One of the most valuable lessons that I've learned as an artist is to persevere. To keep going when you don't really want to create art or you don't really know what to do, because you can't get anywhere by just not doing it. You always have to try. For the time capsule, I've brought this vintage bird album. I've chosen this object for my contribution to the time capsule because of the story it tells about humanity, how humanity has cared and continues to care for its unique species of the world. Conservation is an important thing to me, as the effects of climate change are already starting to affect the Western world where I live. It's really important that we focus on that and try to reel it back instead of making it worse, because the world can live on without us, but we can't live on without the world.
In today's society, there's so much division, so many different reasons why humans don't get along very well. But even before we've settled that, we're already trying to discover other life that we can try and communicate with and connect to before we've even really connected with ourselves. I really wanted to try and get people to think about how instead of trying to reach out into the universe and look at what else might be out there, we should first try to connect with the people around us and what we have here on Earth.
I don't know if Hayden realizes how powerful and how many levels that his artwork shows the viewer. When I looked at it at first, I was thinking so many different variations of what this means. It made me question, it made me challenge me, it made me think about other things, and it really got my head brainstorming into a million different areas. And for Hayden to be able to do this as an artist is fantastic.
So my piece is called Unheard Cry, and it's meant to represent how different the Earth is from everything else we've ever seen in the galaxy. There's no other planet that we've seen like ours. We're really unique.
I would love Hayden to connect with the community with his art, because, I mean, people want beautiful things in their life. We need beautiful things in our life, and so it would be wonderful for Hayden to be involved in the community.
This award has really inspired me to continue down this path, and it's shown me that my work as an artist has paid off after all these years of practicing and training and learning.
We are all so proud of Hayden at PJ. We're just over the moon that he won this contest, and we really hope that he'll be in different contests that come around and get involved in the community.
The little painting that I chose to put in the time capsule is a miniature painting that I created very early on while learning. Its scene mimics the first painting I put effort into and represents how much I've improved as an artist over the years. With all the new techniques and mediums that I've learned, this piece serves as a reminder that just because I cannot do something, it doesn't mean that it can't be done. I think this object is a representation of how humanity can persevere through anything. I hope people will be more appreciative of what we have on Earth rather than immediately calling everything bad and just wanting to leave, because this is a really precious place that we have and we shouldn't be trying to abandon it instead of trying to help what we have here.
Is anybody out there? My art, it's about a story called The Moon Story. It's about this boy named Kyle. He gets self-esteem and he meets alien friends. It means happiness and caring for everyone. Makes me feel calm and happy.
I have a very long relationship with Dana Bourgeois. She has been my student for over 5 years. Dana is an amazing student. She has wonderful characteristics, like she is very, very artistic. When I first met Dana, she was very fond of making small figurines from clay. Her artwork was very beautiful and she gave a lot of attention to small details. She is very passionate when it comes to art. She can draw for hours non-stop. She is never tired to draw, to paint. This is like her favorite field that she excels in.
I started being interested in art. I learned from YouTube videos at a young age in kindergarten.
She enjoys what she's doing. When she expresses herself through art, it helps her with self-regulation. She's calmer, she's relaxed. It's something that she loves.
My mom was very happy for me that I won this award. It means to me that I could be proud of myself as an artist and live my dream as an illustrator.
I believe that Dana is a wonderful example of something all the people can learn, is perseverance. Dana always brings her artwork to completion and always produces the best result ever. And that's what we should all learn.
Dear aliens, I am sending you my rectangular prison that I made up myself. I have included all those things that make me happy and keep me going. It warms my heart to believe that you, my personal alien friends who live somewhere out there in faraway galaxies, share much in common with me. With love, Dana Bourgeois.
So this year's theme and the general question of is anyone out there, I find just to be incredibly profound because it really forces us to consider not only the expansiveness of the universe, like is there anyone out there, could there be? I mean, it's infinite space, but also our position within that universe. My piece for this year is called Nous rejoignons les étoiles, and it's really about what would happen in my potentially realistic scenario if we were to have to flee Earth and then eventually go find habitation on another planet because we eventually destroyed our own planet. And I feel like this really relates to the theme because, as I previously mentioned, I was really trying to go for a more realistic approach, and I feel like one of the only reasons we would ever really have to try to go beyond the stars to really find answers out there would be if we were completely out of answers here on our own planet.
There's many things that make Aspen unique, and it was very quick to see in the classroom. I have yet to meet anyone that devours books at the rate that Aspen does. Aspen's always ready to get to the challenge and explore different things.
I tried to relate it to the theme while also hoping to provide a message of conservation almost for our own planet. Like, we'd like to keep this beautiful planet alive while we go find answers out in the stars. And really, when you think of space, you just instantly think of beauty and magnificence, and I just feel that there was so much potential there to uncover with my writing, and I really hope I did justice. Art is innately a part of you, it's part of your personality, you're showing it to the world, and it can be very scary to do so, so to have my work validated in such a way is just such an incredible feeling, and I'm really grateful.
This competition will encourage Aspen to keep reaching out, pushing herself. She's able to achieve this like on a provincial platform. There's no limits for Aspen, and hopefully she sees that.
The main thing that I've learned from doing this competition and winning the award is definitely that perseverance pays off. Don't stop trying. It's extremely daunting to put your work out there, to have other people look at your work. Don't be scared to show it to your friends, don't be scared to show it to your family, because the only way you're going to improve is if you just build up that confidence over time and if you get that criticism. Like the most important thing to me over like the writing that I've been doing for the past several years has been constructive criticism, because you're only one pair of eyes, you're only one brain. You only know what you wrote, and so you don't really see flaws in it. So I just say, don't be scared. Keep writing, keep doing what you love, and then you won't make any mistakes if you're doing what you love. The item that I selected for the time capsule is the drumstick. While this item may seem simple, it holds a lot of significance and meaning for me. I've recently been making a lot of efforts to come out of my shell, to discover who I am and to really share it with the world. I became the drummer for our school band, and we're actually going to perform at a school-wide competition. For me, this item really represents a testament to my efforts and an example of my attempts to achieve my goals. People are good at heart, and I think that's really something that we should always remember.
I learned my skills of woodworking and stuff from my grandpa, who taught me when I was 10 when I was working with him at his golf course. He taught me all the skills and management around the golf course, taught me how to woodwork. I guess I took that and made a kind of like a business out of this and turned it into epoxy and woodworking, all that stuff.
I think one of the big qualities that makes Ethan really unique is that he takes those opportunities when those doors are open.
My piece was called Cosmic Roots. I made it from oak wood from my grandpa's golf course and captured it all in epoxy with different colors to represent a galaxy and a top coat of clear epoxy with marbles in it to represent planets. I also sanded it to 1,000 grit and finished it with a top coat of epoxy to encase it all.
Having the wood that has that connection rooted in his family, connecting to his grandfather, and having the epoxy with space and those questions of is anybody out there, and bringing those together makes it really unique from a lot of the other art pieces out there.
This award has taught me to love every moment along the way, and if it's an imperfection, a success, a failure, to just love it all, and it will come together and create a really wonderful final piece.
I am hoping through this award that he continues to take risks and sees opportunities as they come up. So when he has a chance to do something, even if it may seem scary or he may seem uncertain, that he takes those opportunities and continues to grow, whether he continues with his woodworking business or anything he does in the rest of his life.
So the time capsule piece, I actually made it like the award. It's made out of all different species and types of wood, encased in epoxy to represent ages, different areas of growth, failures, success, just to represent all of my woodworking, sports, school education along the way to get where I am right now. Is anybody out there? If I were to ask people this question, I would want them to feel the same as I did, how I wondered if there is anybody out there, and a hope that there might be.
My piece describes a young girl in her final moments as she reminisces about her life, her brother and her family, and she really wonders, is anybody out there to come and rescue her from her doomed fate? I was really inspired by a lot of struggles around the world, especially in the Middle Eastern and Central Asian region, and they really connected to this cry of is anybody out there and seeking for help.
I had the opportunity to introduce the competition to students, so that's how I developed more of a relationship with Sanaa. She was one of the first students who approached me, expressing her interest in wanting to do a written piece for the Student Achievement Awards competition. She just wrote it, and I was then able to say, well, this is great personification, and this is amazing imagery, and to have that talent at such a young age, it's really special.
It's a great honor. It's good to know that something that I'm very passionate about, I can be reassured on that I do actually have skills in it. I can see myself having a future in this field.
Someday I'll go into a bookstore and I will see a fictional piece written by Sanaa. That's a realistic expectation.
I think learning to embrace failure and not being scared of those pitfalls, I think it's the best lesson that I've ever learned, and it's the biggest thing that helps me. So the object that I brought is a tesbih. It's a very spiritually and culturally important object. It's essentially prayer beads used in the Islamic faith. There's 100 beads on it. Culture and religion are very important to me, and they're two things that really shape me and my identity, and they're inseparable from who I am as a person, from the way I was raised to the way that I continue to live my life. I see it as my responsibility to represent and talk about the stories of our people and our culture, be the window for some other people from different parts of the world to that, and to further explore that in any way that I can.
Hi, my name is Brinley, and I go to Center Wellington District High School, and I'm in grade 12. My poem, Hold Me Down, connects to this year's theme, is anyone out there? Maybe not so much is anyone out there physically, but does anybody understand me, hear me, like see me, and what I'm going through?
Brinley's poem had a really, really deep existential flavor to it, where she was talking about connecting with others in a way that truly means something to the readers. This ability to connect with the audience and be brave enough to put those thoughts and emotions into words was something that was really profound and took a lot of courage to put into her poem, and I think this is something that made it really stand out.
I would definitely recommend any sort of creative outlet. Having a space to be creative is really helpful, and it can be really healing too. It helps get things out.
Artistic expression really fosters creativity and some critical thinking skills. I noticed a lot for Brinley that she was able to really dial in and focus for extended periods of time, and this ended up translating into other subjects as well.
Being recognized for my poem, it's an honor. I typically don't share my poetry a lot. It's obviously very vulnerable, especially when it is stuff that I genuinely feel. That's kind of what the whole piece is about, is feeling misunderstood. So I guess it feels really validating to be recognized for it.
I hope this award helps Brinley recognize that her voice and her thoughts matter, and that she can have a profound impact when she shares these with the world.
I brought this book, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, and I think it speaks a lot to the human experience, at least from my perspective. This is an overarching theme in humankind, that people really struggle when it feels like there's no meaning to life. There's nothing that I could say to someone to make them keep on going. You are the only one with the power to get yourself out of that, and that's scary and a really hard realization to come to, but it's definitely possible.
Hi, my name is Odin. I made a game for kids where you fly in a ship, dodging asteroids and exploring different planets to find other people like you. I was inspired to make the piece because of both my brothers when we were younger went through really hard times. My older one needing to fight through cancer, and my younger brother having multiple deathly allergies. So I wanted to show kids that you can go through hard times and just fight through it to find other people like you. How in the game you find different creatures with different attributes and then eventually another human that's like you exploring planets. I hope they'll know that they're not alone and that they can search for someone like them and that there's always going to be people that have the same struggles and successes.
Odin is a very unique individual who does very unique things. Coding is definitely one of them. I taught Odin in my grade 9 math class 2 years ago, to which I had to teach coding. Anytime that I had a question that I couldn't answer, I would always defer to Odin for that one.
It means a lot to have people helping me. It's just really nice. Like the second brain allows me to work better and faster to my abilities and do what I'm good at rather than trying to work at something that I want to do but I'm not the best at. I can play to my abilities and use that for whatever else I'm doing.
Creating these projects has really helped him with his decisions for his future. And I think being a 2-time winner, Odin is going to be able to have that right in his back pocket for anything that he pursues. Coding is going to take Odin places.
The object I brought for the capsule is a piece from an Xbox console that I took apart, and I changed it to be a pendant because it just represents gaming and my game design as well as the advancing technology in the world. Technology is just fascinating to me. I think we should use technology to just continue medical research as well as combat global warming and all of our other issues that we still need to solve. We're smart enough to be able to fix our issues with it and just grow as much as we can.
My piece, A Journey of Hope, is about a girl named Lyra, and we follow her journey as she's searching for a cure for her sister, who's terminal. And I believe that it relates to this year's theme, Is Anyone Out There? Because Lyra's asking the question, is anyone out there? It's a sort of plea of desperation as she tries desperately to cure her sister. The way I take it is that there is someone out there, so I see it as a symbol of hope. I was inspired by the many different ways that this prompt could be taken. I had so many different ideas and ways I could express myself through this story. I was definitely inspired by The Maze Runner by James Dashner and The City of Ember by Jane DePro.
Gracie is incredibly thoughtful. She's able to go in depth and explore concepts in unique ways and has a level of self-expression and creativity that are second to none. We brainstormed, came up with some ideas, and then she took it upon herself to create something. Once Gracie had a draft, we looked at it together, discussed it, talked about some style issues, and then she went and created a good copy based on that. And the result is what hopefully all of you will have a chance to read in the near future.
I think that some of the lessons I've learned from doing this competition would be to always believe in myself and take chances. If I hadn't taken the chance to write my short story and submit it, I wouldn't be here right now. There have definitely been a lot of different people who have helped me throughout my journey, but the main mentor who comes to mind would be my mom. She is an incredibly hardworking and amazing woman, and I strive to have just a little bit of determination as she does.
This award means a lot to Gracie. Her voice has been heard, her opinions have been validated, her writing style has been applauded, and we've already been talking about future contest opportunities for her to participate in.
The object I brought for my time capsule is a scrapbook and journal. It's very personal to me because it holds a lot of memories and thoughts and feelings that I've had throughout my lifetime, and it holds some of my happiest memories. What I hope readers take away from my story is that even in times of darkness or adversity, there's always a little glimmer of hope, and if they focus on that long enough, it may just take them out of their dark times.